Hey friends, I am back. Today is Share the Love day 4. And today we're talking about mentors, supporters, people who helped you get where you are today. I'm absolutely thrilled about this topic because there are some people that have just been such great cheerleaders and supporters and mentors to me that I can't wait to share with you. Before we do that, if you're new to this challenge, if you're just discovering this, basically what we're doing is I'm giving you prompts every day to go out and share the love with your favorite businesses, to give reviews, to give testimonials, to give podcast reviews, like whatever it is. I think, when you give more love, you get more love and you just feel better. And I've had some great feedback from folks who are participating in the challenge who have really had this on their list of things to do and just needed that extra push. So if you want to sign up and get those prompts in your inbox every day for 5 days, you can go to carveldigital.com/share the love. And let's face it, it's always a good thing to do, right? There's never a bad time to share more love with businesses, with the people around you, with your family, with your friends. So just do it. It feels good. All right. So today's topic, we're talking about supporters and mentors. And the first person that I want to share with you is someone that's not going to come as any surprise to anyone who's been around me at all. And that is Chris Davis of Automation Bridge. And I first came across Chris as the host of the Active Campaign podcast. Chris was for many years the director of education at Active Campaign, which is a tool that I've loved and used for a long time, that I highlighted on the day we talked about software yesterday. And the Active Campaign podcast was so good. Like, Chris had such a great interviewing style. He had such a great way of just pulling, the gems and the knowledge out of his guests. And I would go so far as to, ask other business owners around me, like, okay, what problem are you having right now? I'm gonna prescribe you one of these episodes so you can go fix your problem. And so when he left Active Campaign, when I found that he was no longer there, I was like, okay, well, where is he? And so I went searching the internet and I found him at Automation Bridge, which is his company that he's created to really help train automation service providers to help build automated systems the right way for themselves and for their clients. And so I've been listening to the All Systems Go podcast. Day 1 was podcast day, so if you can go back and watch that one. And I talk about the All Systems Go podcast. And again, I prescribe the episodes like medicine to business owners all the time. I just did one yesterday. And Chris just has such a way of breaking down complex automation and marketing topics and making them digestible, not just for other marketing nerds, but for everybody, for any business owner. And so, you could do worse than to follow Chris, to listen to the podcast. And if you're someone like me who's a marketing nerd, an automation nerd, who wants to do this for a living, who aspires to do this for a living, then you definitely want to go and want to follow Chris. I'm in his mentorship community, and he just continues to drop gems every day there. So big love for Chris Davis of Automation Bridge. The next person I want to highlight is my good friend, Carrie De Phillips, and Carrie runs the Content Factory. Carrie is an SEO and PR specialist, and she's also a traveler. So she also has a podcast called Workationing, and it really chronicles her decision to start to travel around the world and work from anywhere. And so she runs the Content Factory. I think she's still in Amsterdam as I record this. So just a really awesome person. And I met Carrie because she showed up in my DMs and really liked my content. And ever since that day, she's been just like a huge, huge supporter, constantly just offering help and support to help me win and level up in my business. So a lot of the PR efforts that we've been doing this year are really down to Carrie's help and assistance. And she ran a free challenge a little while back on how to use Haro, help a reporter out to start to get more publicity for your business. And so I put my assistant through that challenge, and we continue to use the system that we created from that to get media placements. So if you saw the article that appeared in Authority magazine recently, where they did an entire interview spread on me, that was directly the result of Carrie's tutelage, and just continually grateful for her support. So if you need your business to be more famous, if you need to get the word out about your business, go check out the Content Factory. All right, next is my good friend, Richard Bird. And Richard, I couldn't even tell you all the things that Richard does. Like, Richard is one of those old school entrepreneurs that's just always been in business, right? So he's probably got a business for everything. He's been in the music industry. He helps churches with their marketing and their technology, especially now with their technology. Like, Richard does all kinds of things. And when I was just kind of learning how to market online and learning how to really open up and talk to people online, I had the good fortune to meet JR, and just connect with him. And he's just been one of those people that's been cheering me on ever since. And whenever I come back to Facebook and I see, and it says like someone shared your post, like I know it's probably him. He's probably one of the people who did that. So really love JR. He's got all kinds of media and all kinds of content. If you're a business owner and you're wanting to level up and just learn from someone who has been around, who has been doing this for so long, definitely go and follow Richard, get connected with him. He's always dropping gems on his Facebook page, on his profile. He's always just dropping those gems, and I love it so much. So thank you, Richard, for all your support over these years. I hope we can meet in person someday. That would be dope. All right, next person I want to highlight is my good friend Emma. Emma Weatherall. I met through a mastermind that we're both in, and she's part of my super crew of business besties, and we hang out on Voxer together. And Emma's just so full of knowledge. And here's the thing, Emma and I do pretty much the same thing. Like, we have a little bit different style and maybe a little bit different strategies, but our programs are very similar. We actually like met to geek out, because I'm like, well, how do you do it? And she's like, well, how do you do it? And so we're constantly sharing ideas back and forth. And so even though we're supposedly competitors, I just love and respect Emma so much. So if you need help with your marketing and you want it in a really cool English accent, like, Emma's the person for you, right? She's just so brilliant. And I don't hesitate to reach out and ask her when we all have our blinders. And so sometimes I'll ask her like, okay, I need help with this thing. Sometimes she'll come to me and say, I need help with this thing. And there's lots of crossover in what we do, but there's also lots of places where we each kind of have our own genius. And she's just so generous, and I love being connected with her. And the accent doesn't hurt either. So if you're needing help with your marketing and you want it in a cool English accent, go check out Emma's site, get on her email list. She's constantly dropping gems too. She has an amazing Facebook group as well. So yeah, go check her out. All right. And then last but certainly not least, I've got to give some love to my homie, Adriana Locke of Zocalo Wellness. And Adriana is an acupuncturist. And I'm gonna give you the link to go listen to the podcast that just dropped. She was kind enough to come and be a guest on the podcast. Actually, she was kind enough to call me out and say, send me a text and say, when are you going to have me on the podcast? And I was like, how about this week? So that episode just dropped this week, actually, and we had so much fun and we dropped so many gems. And, I'm going to talk about mini boot camp in a second, which is how I'm showing the love back to you all who have been wanting to work with us for a while and are wanting to kind of get over the hump to do that. And that is how Adriana started. There was one time before where I said, hey, I know a lot of you are wanting to get in and work with me, but maybe the investment is a barrier. And so I opened up this mini boot camp, which is just like a 4-week version of our full boot camp. And that's how Adriana and I got started working together finally. And that was 2 years ago. And I'm not going to spoil it. Go and listen to the podcast episode, which you can find at carveldigital.com/15. And we kind of break down the whole history because we live in the same town. We've been friends for many years and have only gotten closer as we work together. So I'm not going to spoil it, but just go and listen to the episode because it's so good and there's so many gems. And if you are thinking about working with us at some point, like it's like a guided tour of what it's like, and what you can achieve. So, Adriana, more than any other client that I've ever had, really went on a campaign, as she started to get results and as we were working together, she was not shy about sharing the love. And people have told the both of us separately, like, oh, I love the way you all support each other, in business and online. And, I had heard stories about people who had clients who were like, you're not charging enough for this. Like, you should charge more. And Adriana was the first person to be like, this thing was so valuable. Like, I need to pay you more for it. And it was already not cheap, y'all. So, just to have that kind of support, especially as a Black woman business owner, when everybody is so busy trying to tell you how not valuable you are and so busy trying to get all your labor for free, to have somebody do that just meant like everything. Like, I'm getting emotional about it. So just love everything that Adriana does. And so go check out Zocalo Wellness. Go buy her massage in a box, which I'm going to talk about more tomorrow. I want to talk about products. And like, get your health right, because your health is everything. So love that I've been able to support her and help her take her business online and help her reach more people. So those are some of the folks that have really just like helped me, especially the last few years, to get to the place where I'm at. So if you're looking at me and thinking, oh, Karanda has it all together, like, one, that's not true. But it is definitely better than it was a few years ago. And that is in large part to the folks that I talked about today. All right. So let me know in the comments, like, who's helped you get where you are? Who are the folks that you want to shout out and that you want to love on? Let me know in the comments, and hashtag replay if you catch this on the replay. And I want to just make sure that you know that if you've been thinking about working with us, if you've been thinking about coming into Content Bootcamp, if you're curious about what that is and how it could benefit you, then I want you to go and apply. Go and apply to work with us, carveldigital.com/apply, and tell me a little bit about your business. And you and I will have a conversation. We'll get together and we'll figure out, how can I help you speed you on your journey to your business goals? And what we're doing with Mini Bootcamp right now is, normally it's a 12-week program, and sometimes the length of that or the investment of that is a barrier for people who really, if they could just get on the inside, could make so much progress. Like, I've literally had folks who come in and triple their income within a couple of months. And so Mini Bootcamp is 4 weeks of the full boot camp. And other than the time being shortened, there's really no other difference. So you come in and you get all the support, you get all the tutorials and lessons, you get access to the community, really everything that I can give you to give you that leg up and get you some momentum to start reaching your goals much faster. So that's what's available to you right now. Not for very long. We're going to start in March. And so if this is something that you've been thinking about, or if it's an opportunity you're interested in, go ahead and go to carveldigital.com/apply and just get started. Just take that first step, y'all. I can't help you until you take that first step. So that's what I have for you today. Tomorrow, we're going to wrap up our Share the Love week officially, talking about products. So come back. I go live at noon every day in the Service CEOs group and on YouTube. And we're going to talk some more about sharing the love. And I can't wait to hear more from you about your mentors and supporters in the comments. All right. Take care, y'all.